In this video, we are spraying the wallpaper backing. This is the layer that's underneath the actual wallpaper that has like the pattern or the design on it. So that peeled right off dry, but removed pretty easily. But then this is the underneath layer that is more of like a porous layer, kind of like a normal paper, and it has the glue applied to it. It kind of glues the paper and the wall together. Most of these, the glue's already in there, and you just kind of wet it down, and you stick it on. Some of the older styles, you'd have to actually put glue on the wall and then stick the paper. But so once you get that first layer off, you'll see you just want to wet this down really good and soak it. You see I've already went over it twice. And then the ideal way to do is to let it soak for at least a few minutes. The longer you let it soak, the better. But you don't want it to dry out. As you can see, I was wetting it down a little bit more. And now we start peeling off, and it's coming right off, which looks super great and like it's real easy. That's just because it's wet. Not all wallpaper comes off like this. Here's a little tough spot that I had to get there with some kind of sealant somebody used to put it on. And everybody loves when it comes off this easy, but this is only kind of the second step to it. There's still going to be more to do after we get the majority of it off. So you just want to keep peeling that off, and you want to make sure you don't let it dry. You don't want to wet a whole room. You only want to wet, maybe a wall or half a wall, depending on how big your room is. So you don't let it dry out, because then you're just gonna have to start over, wet it again. But it is good to wet it down a couple times. This backing was pretty thick, so I had to wet it down twice. And then you can let it sit for a few minutes and then kind of wet it again and then start peeling. Sometimes you'll have to scrape it. Like you saw when I first started, I had a tool to scrape it off, but it actually came right off. Now, while it's still damp, I'm going to wet it down again with the same enzyme wallpaper removal solution as diluted. We have another video about how to dilute that and make sure you get the right product. So we're going to soak it down really good. Now I'm going to get a 3M green scrubby and start scrubbing that glue. You can almost see some of it disappear. It's like a yellow tint. Scrub it to loosen it all up. Those scrub pads don't last forever. They get a little lumped up pretty quick. But you want to scrub as much as you can, and then you're just going to come back with a nice, damp, clean rag. Make sure you have a bucket close by so you can rinse that off frequently. Your water will get dirty fast depending how much glue you have, so you're going to want to keep rinsing that rag and keep changing that water when it gets too dirty. But that is the process. Here I got a helper cleaning up a little bit more, trying to make sure we get all that glue off.